Hello and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. There's all kinds of family, we chose this one. This is episode 120, Fast and Furious on a Budget. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe too.
This is weird. Not weird. It's a good kind of weird.
It's our kind of weird.
Yes. This was originally going to be Reef Week. This was going to be us talking about Blue Crush. This was us going to be talking about Finding Nemo. I put the entire Blue Crush the movie discussion on our Patreon page, toofast2forever.com, so our patrons have that. But we sat down virtually with the Budget Boys, who are taking the internet by storm with their Fast and Furious on a Budget 20-minute short film on YouTube. And we talked to them. We're like, we're going to put it on a Friday. Let's not do that. Let's put it out today. Let's put it out Tuesday. Let's just get it out there. We want to share this interview with you.
You guys have known. Justin sent us the link of it. Hopefully you guys have watched the Budget Boys video. It's just a 20-minute video of them doing Fast and Furious on a budget. Joey reached out to them. They said they want to talk to us. We said, hey, timely's better. Let's let you have the interview now.
And so after the interview, we're going to have a little bit of an outro. We're going to talk about the scheduling changes and stuff like that. But without any further ado, here are Kevin Ferry and Kent Yoshimura, the Budget Boys. Welcome to the show, Budget Boys. We were joking before we started. I said I was going to mention on the show, and I am. Joe and Joey, basically the same name. We've got Kevin and Kent, basically the same name. You guys said JK, but welcome to the show, Kevin Ferry and Kent Yoshimura. Hello, guys.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for this dose of passion and fervor into the fashion. You guys have taken the internet by storm. Before we get into anything else, how did this happen? What is the last week or two been like?
Crazy. I mean, girls just come up to us out of the blue, and it's just
everywhere. We can't go anywhere.
We can't go anywhere now. We have to wear a mask, and
I mean, you should have been wearing one already. So I mean, this is probably a good.
It just worked out. It was serendipitous.
I have so many questions about so many things for you guys, but before we get into there, I want to talk about, as we do with any new guest, I want to sort of gauge your history with the Fastiverse. So I know a little bit about it, but can you please tell us which of these movies you've seen, when you came to them? What is your relationship with these movies?
I love Fast and Furious. We watched it when it came out back in the day, and me and my high school friends, we always quote the first movie.
Oh yeah.
SWAT came to my house, all that stuff. Monica. So it's that movie's pretty ingrained in my system, so it just felt right to remake it.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about the Fast and Furious movies just in general is it was a really serious movie at first. And then at some point they were just you know what, fuck it. We're just going to go crazy superhero, absurd. It's all right, cool. That's how you keep making Fast and Furious into infinity, though.
I mean, that's what we love about it. We love that it can basically go on forever as long as they keep finding new ways to save the world. So, I mean, as long as you have that idea, I think we're good.
Aliens next?
Maybe. There's the talk of space.
Hoping for space, yeah.
Space racing.
Now, the one bit of homework, I'm not sure if you were able to do it or not. Did you guys rank your movies from favorite to least favorite?
We have a general idea.
Yeah. Okay. Please hit us with it and let me know who's who, because I don't know if I'll be able to differentiate talking, but let's start with Kevin.
Number one is my favorite because that's just memories,
iconic nostalgia.
Yeah. I think five was awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Fair. Yeah.
It jumped into that ridiculous era of Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, when you're dragging the safe, definitely.
Exactly, yeah. And they had a lot of cool characters, that showed up again, so that was cool. 7 was pretty good. The rest you can kind of just mix in together. two is definitely the worst.
Two's the worst,
definitely the worst. Oh, after 7, Tokyo Drift, and then the others kind of mix in together, and then 2's the worst.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Okay, so we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And Kent, what about you? Do you have what's your rank? Because I think you've only seen, is it right, the first 5?
I've seen the first 5. 2 is definitely the worst. 5 is awesome, but I would say Tokyo Drift is probably my favorite because of my heritage. And listening to all these people try to do a good Japanese accent, but it being like, obviously you guys are not Japanese at all.
In that regard, before we go further, so we've tried to be very careful about like respecting nationalities in terms of, because like the first movie is in particular does not really give you like, it's like in Chinatown, but they're not like, it's just like a weird like so I loved in your version where you're just like, I messed up with the Asians, because it's like that's basically what the movie's saying, because it's like we don't really care, so you shouldn't care either. So I like that you guys took the piss out of it a little bit. We're just like, hey, it's just the Asians.
It's literally called Race Wars. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
like,
And they
come on,
kept it.
guys.
They kept the name Race Wars till the 7th movie. They repeat it there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, time to change it up, guys.
Yeah, please.
What? Or they just like double down. I mean, they like septuple down.
So Kent, you got Tokyo Drift first, and
I like Discount Eminem also. There was like Discount Paul Walker / Discount Eminem in Tokyo Drift that I
Yeah.
Yes, Sean, yeah.
So he was it was good. Number 2 is definitely the worst. That's for sure.
Okay.
Number 1 probably after Tokyo Drift, and then I think I'm in the same boat as Kevin. Like number 5, that safe scene is fantastic. That was when it got a little bit crazier. I don't really remember number 4, but I definitely watched it.
That's the one where Letty dies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one was kind of weird.
That was kind of weird. That was kind of weird. Okay. Yeah.
And
So
the tunnel
3,
scenes.
1, 5, 4, 2.
perfect.
That
Got it.
works.
So now we got some really hard either or questions to kind of get a sense, and I'm gonna ignore the stuff from the later movies. I'm gonna make sure that you can answer both of these questions, but I want to get your take on like just find out who you guys are, where you're coming from, who you are, who you see yourself as. Are you ready for these very hard hitting questions?
Like existential crisis on a Sunday
Yes.
afternoon.
All right. So Kevin first. Do you see yourself as more of a Brian or a Dom?
Brian. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Kent, what about you? Say also a Brian or maybe more of a Dom?
Definitely more of a Dom. I think we chose our roles appropriately.
That makes sense.
No,
Okay.
It came to us.
Yeah, we had no disagreements there.
So now there's a through line through the movies that you also play up in your short. Do you think Brian is good at his job or bad at his job? It's also very clear in the movies that he's a cop, that everybody thinks he's a cop, that you make very clear that he's a cop.
I love that part, yeah.
We used to ask if he's a good cop or a bad cop. That's a very difficult question to ask now. But do you think Brian is good at his job or bad at his job?
Well, we kind of put it into our budget movie that he was definitely bad at his job.
Yeah.
Like he had to find like what was it, like the exhaust pipes and stuff like that, but he was like actually investigating TVs and stuff, and he just saw Johnny Tran beat up that guy, so he just got the wrong impression. So,
He's a cop. He's
Flip cop, he is.
You just spent government money to get this like rice rocket.
Oh yeah,
you lose immediately.
Also true, yeah. We never even brought up the fact that he like gets the car and then loses it, like twice.
Yeah, twice. That's our taxpayer money.
I know.
He's got to be the most like wasteful spender on the force, because like even in the fourth one, like, he's just always like, yeah, give me all of these cars. Like, it's just like, guy, relax. Let's calm down for a second. Now, this next question I'm going to have to reword because there's one of these words that you don't use. We normally ask, are you more of a Mia or a Letty? But I guess I'll ask you, are you more of a Mia or a Michelle Rodriguez?
Oh man, I mean Michelle. I want to say Michelle Rodriguez, but then I like also forgot her name completely, which is why we kept saying Michelle Rodriguez.
That's so awesome.
So I guess both Mia? We always joke that like people who are Letty don't necessarily have podcasts, and I feel like people who are Letty don't necessarily make budget remakes of movies. So I feel like by default, you might both be Mia, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Fast and Furious 1 is pretty chauvinistic.
Uh-huh.
Like the female characters, when we rewatch her, like the female characters are pretty irrelevant. Like they're only there as a love interest to a certain degree, but they have no real impact on the narrative of the film. In that regard, that's why. In that regard, yeah. I guess Mia. No, I think I'm a more Michelle Rodriguez.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Mia with
Okay.
Michelle Rodriguez spirit animal.
Yeah, exactly.
That really looked at me.
Yeah, like rising Mia, like.
We were just talking to our guest this lap, and they were describing Mia's role in the movies as sexy lamppost. Because, like, if you just put a post-it note on a sexy lamppost, that you could have everything that Mia is to the films. You portraying Mia as a perfect sexy lamppost was great for me because we were just talking about this. I really appreciated that.
That's so funny. Yeah. That's great.
I mean, it's not great, but it's great. Like, I know what you're saying. I want to make sure
It is
none of us are in
It's
favor
what
of that.
it is. Yeah.
Actually, I kind of want to like stop there because I feel like a lot of like I could ask if you're a Tej or a Roman, like you guys have both seen that, but I feel like I want to really kind of focus on that first movie because I feel like
same.
that's where we've been. And I mean, I'm hoping down the road, and we'll talk about later what you have planned, but like I want to see a Too Fast.
Oh yeah, I
budget
want to see them
remake,
do
and then,
Too
and then I want to
Fast.
ask you about Tej and Roman there because that is a whole other ball of wax. But I want to, Brian and Dom and Mia and Letty is the core, or Mia and Michelle Rodriguez is really the core of this. So
We could probably do better acting.
I know. That's the only thing. Yeah, like you have to. If we were to continue to make the sequels, I mean, we could just skip number 2.
Yeah.
It's like,
Or we
where did this come from? Like, what inspired? Like, is this there's the Be Kind Rewind movie that I think I've seen you guys compare it to a lot? Like the sweeting of movies and stuff like that. Is this the first time you've done one of these? Have you done other ones of these? Or like, where did the inspiration to do this for like under $100 come from?
well, we were making weird movies anyways, and then at a certain point, we were like, we should probably just buckle down and do something kind of serious.
yeah.
And you wound up on this?
This was the serious.
Yeah.
It was like we wanted to do something really funny, but also we don't want to spend money.
Yeah, but we're also
Fair.
poor.
Yeah,
So-
so we're like, okay, this totally makes sense. Like, what's the least amount we can spend and recreate iconic movies?
Yeah.
It worked. It was definitely hilarious to us for sure. So we loved it.
I'm sure you probably, if your goal is to remake iconic movies, I'm sure that you have all of history to choose from. Like, how did you land on this one?
What
Did
was
we
it?
land on?
I don't know.
It was like, the first scene would be so funny with toy cars or
Yeah.
something, and then
Yeah.
I think it just spiraled from there.
Yeah.
Cool, just like a good brainstorming because you're just like imagine it with Matchbox instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Was the $100 thing, was that like a threshold that you set, or you're just like, we're just going to spend as little money as possible, and then it's just like, we only spent $91? Like, is that number that you want to stay below that, or just like, we want to be as cheap as we possibly can?
So the ladies listening to this, we're not poor. But for the sake of podcast and existential crisis Sunday, yeah. But no, I think it just happened that it was like under $100.
Well, we try to stick
20.
to a $20 budget.
Yeah.
We found out after buying the cars.
We're like, that's our whole budget.
It's like, that's $8, and then like 2 weeks, we're like, we're over budget. We're like, okay, like we need to stick to as low as possible, but yeah.
Because like what I love is that like you in the credits at the end, and then also in the comments or like the description on YouTube, like you list out your budget, and like you guys dropped $30 on a toy helicopter for the one. I mean, it's important for the one scene, but like
Yeah.
big ticket budget
We
item.
definitely have a story about that toy
Yeah.
helicopters.
Oh, please tell us the story.
What is it?
We shot it at the park. We tested it out. By the way, it took like 8 batteries or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we fly it up. It works great. I land it back down, but upon landing, it kind of like hits the what's those?
The rotor, like,
it hits it a
got
little
back
bit. So we're like, that's okay, right?
Yeah.
It'll still work. So I start flying it again for a second run, and it won't come back down. So it
Oh,
keeps
God.
flying like further away from us. So we just start shooting it.
Yeah, it was just a one take. It
Yeah.
flew into the road.
It flew into the road on a fence on the opposite side of like
Like the
metro
freeway or like-
track.
Yeah.
To a point where we couldn't grab it. Yeah, that was our one and only day.
That was $30 literally in like 10 seconds. A third of our budget immediately disappeared.
Yeah, immediately. It was.
Oh, that's awesome. So it just lives there now, just
Yeah.
in a graveyard.
Yeah, forever a memory.
I mean, at least with like the Thomas the Tank Engine, whatever his friend, the green friend that you use for the train, like at least you got to use him in the beginning and the end because like he's at the night race scene. Like at least there's two purposes. Like, and he would only cost it looked like $10. I mean, the $30 helicopter for the one shot, like that's a bold investment. I'm sorry that
Glad you guys got the shot, man.
died over there.
We thought it'd be a better investment, but
Because it would have been like, damn, we still have a toy helicopter.
yeah,
That's
we
kind
can
of cool.
use the helicopter whenever.
Yeah, like Die Hard, Matrix, like whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, when I was in college, we would always like go to like dollar stores and like Salvation Armies because like for a party like a themed party or like Halloween or whatever, and always our mindset was like, okay, what costume can we be that like the shit that we have to spend money on that we don't want to spend money on, like we'll at least have like a cool thing afterwards, right? So I totally get that. Like how like at least we have a helicopter, at least we have like a pirate parrot and like a sword and like we can swash. Like it's just like
Yeah.
I don't want to spend $30 on a helicopter, but at least we have the helicopter. So I see that and I respect that.
Exactly. Yeah.
We can use this forever.
Forever, yeah, we'll play it all the time.
Even though the first time you used it, it broke. I mean, maybe it's not the best, but yeah.
What was the necklace stand-in? Is that a dog whistle?
That is a dog whistle.
That's what I thought. It was a perfect stand-in. Like I loved all the like the little touches of like the NOS bottles, this being like water bottles and stuff like
And the
that.
fire extinguisher was also beautiful.
So beautiful, and like
What's bigger than what Brian has?
the way that you repurpose all of these things, that they're still so iconic, and knowing which marks you have to hit, but then using other fun things was just like what really made this enjoyable for me as a fan too.
Yeah, Kevin's the master at that. He's like, okay, these are all the beats that like will make this movie good.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's iconic. But yeah, we were like, what can Dom have that's always bigger than Brian?
yeah. It's like aggro.
Yeah, we're just like looking around the house. Yeah.
It's amazing how much of the movie you're able to get into 20 minutes. Like, there's entire things that you leave out. Like, I think it's very funny that, like, just like the movie seems to forget about Leon, you guys, I don't think included Leon at all. So just like, bye, Leon. Like, we don't need Leon. The movie doesn't need Leon. Leon's just gone. But like, how did you pick what to basically recreate? And is there stuff that you tried to recreate that like didn't work? That you're like, the movie does it, but like we can't really do it.
I watched the movie and then I kind of wrote out important scenes, and I was like, this is not necessary.
Yeah,
or like
we'll have like a shared notes where we just start cutting stuff out, and then it's like, okay,
this person doesn't come back, or
I'm trying to think of what
big part, so we just cut a bunch.
Because like you kind of do a good job of condensing like 100 minutes into 20. There's not a lot that you leave out.
I'm trying to think like the exhaust pipes, the dad scene is there, like
the dad scene. Okay, I want to talk about the mustaches because I think my favorite detail about this is the mustaches. So I like Johnny Tran's dad's white mustache. I think that was a beautiful touch. But I also like, whether it's Tanner or Bilkins or just your stand-in for all police, like the increasingly growing mustache is like wonderful.
Yeah, notice that.
And I want to commend you both, whoever did the actual cutting, for like detail in like creating the hairs by cutting like little snips. Like whoever made mustaches, you guys, you have a future in, I guess, mustache making. It's beautiful.
Yeah, if Budget Boys doesn't work, that's what we'll go into.
And then Brian looking up and having the mustache when he is a cop, it was just like, it's all so beautiful. The mustache things, that's one thing that my wife really loved. She's like, oh my god, the mustaches keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, she was a huge fan.
Yeah, that was a funny detail. Like, we didn't think people would catch it.
Yeah.
Oh no. Very, very, very good.
Because even in the teaser, like I watched the trailer and then I emailed you guys, but I was just like, I love the mustache, like I love that, and then to see it keep getting bigger, I was like, this is my favorite part of the entire thing. It's just the mustache. So of course I caught it. I love it.
We were talking. We're doing Michelle Rodriguez this lap. That's who we're focusing on. We're doing a lot of Michelle Rodriguez movies. So you just calling her Michelle Rodriguez is beautiful to begin with. We were talking a lot about how in a lot of her movies, she's just coded male. And they like do everything to show you that she's like a tomboy. So for you to have her just playing football alone at Race Wars was just like something that hit so hard for me that I mistakenly thought that it was part of Blue Crush that we were just watching. Like I was talking to Joey and I was like, yeah, and that part where she's just playing football alone, and he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh fuck, no, that was the Budget Boys movie, not Blue Crush. Like it just like stood in my head so perfectly that that's what you guys did, that like I actually put it into a different Michelle Rodriguez movie in my head.
We like shifted your memory.
Yeah. I had like this false memory that like in Blue Crush she's just like throwing a football by herself, and I was like, oh yeah, because like that's how they were showing that she's just like, a tomboy and one of the guys, and he's like, that didn't happen.
Joe is going on this whole thing, and I'm like laughing. I'm like, I guess I must have missed that scene. He's like, wait a minute, like I'm just confused. I'm like, how do you confuse a Hollywood movie?
And Blue Crush is the surfing movie, right?
Does it make sense now?
No, it still doesn't make sense. No, not at all. But I appreciate it, and I love it now. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense to me because I mean, there's football in that movie. movies, and that's what she's doing. So
One of the minutes that we just covered is at the end of Race Wars, where Johnny Tran beats Jesse, and Jesse drives off and goes to get a car wash or whatever, just freaks out. It feels like a lot of the cars are, whenever you cut to the cars, they're not moving. But here you have like the chopstick that like pushes them out of the way, and like I love that. Like probably like the slowest drive away in the movie is the only one in here that gets actual momentum. So like, was it a chopstick? And like, what? I don't have questions about that scene, but what?
Metaphorically symbolic too. It's like chopstick, an agent like utensil controlling Jesse.
The chopstick is pushing him away.
I love that Johnny Train pulls up and he's like, "Hey, white boy!" Like that was incredible too. Like, yeah, just good all around, man. You guys really nailed it. I like the playfulness of the line. Like you hit all the major marks for sure. Like the lineage is like the dialogue is just dead on.
I think maybe the last line, maybe in the thing. So there's, obviously in the Fast and Furious, it's all about family, but here it's not family; it's friendship.
Oh, that's right. It's about family.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very wonderful choice. Like I just love that he's just like, Dom, I owe you a 10-second car, and he just says friendship, and then he just like walks away for a while, just says friendship again. And just like this, yeah.
I thought it was funny because like they are friends. you can call like I get people try to say family, like that's the message in Fast and Furious, but it's just good friendship too.
Yeah.
They just have a really strong friendship. Yeah, you're right. Like people like to use the word family a lot now. It's not what that means.
Yeah, this is just friendship.
Yeah.
He's still a cop. You guys don't really even know each other.
You could be the best of friends.
No, one other scene that I like made a little note about that I really, really like, that almost it feels like you hit almost beat for beat and line for line, is when they get back to the party and Dom says the Buster brought me back, and then you go and you take the Corona seltzer away from Vince and you give it to Brian, and then you can have any drink you want in here, but it has to be a Corona, and you take a beat and you say seltzer. But then, and I don't remember this in the original movie, maybe I blocked it out, it looks like they have like a Predator style like arm handshake, and I mean just
yeah. We added that in.
which I feel like is like, I mean, a lot of these things I think improve upon the first movie, but that might be the biggest improvement. It's just like, why are we not using that handshake in every movie between like two strong aggro dudes? It's just like, we need that Predator handshake. So I'm glad to see the implementation, like even like the framing of it, just like spot on, guys. So I appreciate it. I applaud you for that.
More friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we have to secure this moment over Corona.
That's the audience.
Seltzers.
Yeah.
Did you have favorite characters, or I guess least favorite characters? Like, was there like did it suck to put the bald cap on? Like anybody you loved playing or really kind of hated playing? Either of you?
Dom was fun to play.
Yeah.
Phil. Like,
Dom's great. Yeah.
Jesse was hilarious.
I did like playing Jesse. I was like,
Michelle Rodriguez Neil was annoying only because it was such a big costume change. And it was like, that wig was so hot, and then like, it's like a shitty wig.
that wig was really bad. It would like shed like crazy and get all in your mouth. That was the Jesse wig.
Yeah, that's the Jesse wig and the Mia wig.
How long did this take you guys to film?
Actually didn't take that long.
No, we actually crammed a lot of it into like a day.
It was like a month and a half, 2-month process.
Wow, that's a lot. But you're just like shooting weekends and stuff.
Yeah, like mornings before work, weekends.
Do you have like a background in film, or you just think it's like funny to make the kind of stuff? Like,
I mean, I have a background in film. I went to UCLA for film school for a bit, and then but also like we've been making stupid shorts. Like even in college, when we would just do stupid creative stuff. Yeah, like improv and.
Yeah, I don't have a background in anything, but I do like this kind of stuff. So just being creative and being stupid.
because like for as intentionally low budget as it is, the actual editing of it, like the presentation of it is really well done. So I mean, like I think the reason that it works so well is because like you're able to like trim the fat and kind of get from thing to thing, and just what you decided to include or not include, and just the packaging of it all, I think makes it like, it kind of flies by for like a 21-minute thing. So the editing or whatever, the history there, I think it paid off in some way.
Kent is a master editor, so yeah, just watching him work is awesome.
As much as you're making fun of it, and you have a low budget and stuff like that, and you're dealing with that, there is some mastery there. Like you hit the right things. You knew what to cut. You know how to edit it, and like that shines through. And like Joey was saying, like that's what makes this like takes it to the next level. Like even if you have like a goofy explosion, it fits, and like where it is like really perfect to make it recognizable and interesting. Like you know the parts that you're supposed to do.
There's also moments where like Kevin and I would be like, "Oh my god, that would be a hilarious shot. We have to capture the shot in that." Like when we're jumping over the camera.
Yeah.
We did like 15 takes of that. We were like, we need to jump over the camera perfectly.
Yeah.
You're not amateurs as much as like it. You know, that's what this is. You can see that you're definitely not. Like you have some grasp of what's going on here.
Thank you.
And I think like what I was worried about, and it didn't wind up being this, which I'm very thankful about. But like Joe and I have talked like when we first started the podcast network, we started with the Nicolas Cage podcast, and me and my friend Mike, like we just did that because the internet in general, as I'm sure you guys have realized, it just like there's too many people being assholes and making it's so easy to make fun of things. There's just too much snark, and people are like, "Oh my god, can you see him as a meme or whatever?" And like our thesis statement was like, "Is Nicolas Cage a good actor? Let's find out." And we kind of unequivocally said like, "Yeah, like." There's so many movies that people have never heard of that he's doing legitimately great things, but we're like, there's so many people out there making fun of him that we want to be like the one that are just like, oh no, like let's actually like cut through all the memes and the bullshit and like let's find out if he's actually a good actor. And so when I heard about this, I was like, oh, like this could go either way. I think like you are making fun of it, but like you don't do this kind of thing without loving the source material in some way. You're admitting that it gets goofy and over the top and whatever and not necessarily good and outdated and whatever, but you don't spend a month and a half to make fun of something, I don't think. So I think that like the passion and like the love in whatever form that takes kind of shines through here.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with the Nicolas Cage thing. I think he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
The bees, not the bees.
It's some iconic acting. Like
I watched this like video on YouTube actually. It was like from Wisecrack or something, where it like deconstructed how Nicolas Cage is a representation of kabuki style acting, but in a Western style. I thought that was like really fascinating. He like overacts, but that's his thing. Like he wants to show how much emotion you could convey as an actor.
Not to completely go off the rails here with Nicolas Cage, but like that movie in particular, like the Wicker Man remake with the Not the Bees, like there's a couple scenes in there that people like pull out. They're like, what is he doing? But apparently at the behind the scenes, like he and the director wanted to make this like campy satire and no one else was on board. And so like he looks insane and the rest of the movie is like super grounded, but like he's doing kind of like what he and the director were like, this is what the movie should be. And like it's the kabuki and it's like he came up with his whole acting style like nouveau shamanic, and so like people just kind of don't understand him and he's easy to make fun of. You could pay loving respect to him and like also be like, yeah, it's also kind of dumb, right? But like there's kind of a line like the movie about family and like, you know, all Asians are the same or whatever. Like there's things you can make fun of here, but you're also just like, no, but it's actually like a cool like a story. Like it's a movie that means a lot to me and my friends, and like we still quote it all the time. So like there's a line to walk, and I think he did it.
You told me to watch that other Justin Lin movie right before too.
Better Luck Tomorrow.
Better Luck Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, it's pretty amazing to see his evolution from that into Fast and Furious. Yeah. And he did always want to incorporate some Asian American, I guess, backdrop to whatever it was.
We didn't want to make fun of the movie.
Yeah.
We just knew that this is like
the only way we could do it.
Yeah.
No, but it makes fun of itself. Like it's perfect. That's what we're saying. Like you didn't. There's definitely love there.
Yeah, because like a few weeks before we started, we were like, oh, let's write a script and this, and like we watched Midsommar, so we were like, we need to do like a sequel style movie that like combines Mother and the Korean Midsommar, and then we were like, that's not us. Like holy.
I wouldn't have that much fun making that.
Yeah.
You know, but this is like part of my adolescence, and I was like, I would love to like, you know, do that Monica scene.
Went from like, we could be an Oscar-worthy script writing team, or we can make Fast and Furious under $100.
Yes. Also, you mentioned Monica. Like, I can't believe that Monica made the cut. Like, I get that, like, that's like a line that you quote, but like,
I had to. I was very adamant of saying, "No, Monica." Like, that's a quote that me and my friends would always say. I had to throw Monica
it's
in there.
Such
or else it
a
wouldn't make
random.
sense.
Like, why is Ja Rule even in that movie?
No
well,
idea.
you know the story that like they wanted him back for 2, and he says no, and they offered him like a ton of money. He said no, and so they got Ludacris, and then like it became like another like, you know, then the franchise became what it became, and like Ja Rule like desperately wanted to get back in there, so like he messed up like across the board.
Yeah, he started Fire Festival instead.
Exactly.
So he's doing all right. Yeah, but like I love like you know like 20 minutes is a lot of time, but like there is a disproportionate amount of time spent to the jaw rule to the Edwin character. But like it works. Like there's probably like a minute of it that's just that scene where it's like there's no reason for it to be this long other than like it's the goofiest lines of dialogue maybe the entire movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It also makes that scene not just about Brian versus Dom. It culminates into that at the very, very end. That third character was necessary.
Like this, it kind of plays out in ways where like there's videos that have gone viral where it's like my girlfriend watched Star Wars for the first time and got drunk and tried to recount it to me or whatever. Like it's like kind of those like I'm trying to remember the movie but I haven't seen it in a while, or maybe I watched it once and like, oh yeah, there's like you never had me, you never had your car, but then like there's entire chunks where it's not even like it's just this weird kind of like fever dream of what's there and what's not there. What it winds up being is like this beautiful kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of was what it felt like.
Yeah.
Because I have a terrible memory, and so I was
Okay.
like, Kevin, did that happen?
You've done this, and we talked about this a little bit via text before, but like, what do you guys, because I'm sure are asked this a lot in whatever ways, on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, but like, what are you guys doing next? Are there more Fast and Furious adaptations in the line? Like, or do you want to go more original stuff? Or are you going to like Swede other stuff? But like, are you working on anything now? What could we see next?
We are working on something right now. We actually bought all the props this
Yeah.
past week.
Yeah.
Oh, so you bought all the props? Was it under $100?
It's
way
well under 100
it's
right now.
Well
Okay.
under. Yeah.
We found better sources.
Yeah. We're getting smarter with our shopping habits.
Shout out to Dollar Tree.
Yeah, dog.
Nice.
Men in Black.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. Which one? The original, obviously, right?
Oh, the latest one, which is the best one, obviously. Sarcasm. Oh my god.
One of our guests on the show played the cab driver in the new one, which, if you don't remember the cab driver, he drives Valkyrie around, Tessa Thompson around, like,
Yes.
up the block a couple times. He's got this like great behind the scenes story that like, because that movie was okay. Like I liked the leads, but just the movie, whatever. But like his story about it, I'm like, oh my god, this is an amazing story. I kind of want you guys just to recreate that one scene, but like his story of that one scene. So it's like,
We're big fans of the new one only because we had a guest that was in the new one on our show, and we were like, yeah, that's awesome.
Wait, the taxi driver has like a
Yes.
whole backstory?
it's just him driving Tessa Thompson around New York because like there's like a one block thing where they're filming, but to get back there they have to go around the block, and like people are trying to flag them down because the light's on because the light doesn't work right in the car.
Yeah.
And people are like screaming at the cab for not pulling over. He's like, I've got an Avenger in the back seat. Like I can't just pull over and like pick up a random person on the street in New York. And so he's like looping around and trying to do like stunt moves and stuff that like he's not trained to do. They're just like, yeah, just he's like, yeah, just figure it out. You'll do it. It's fine. He's like, I have an Avenger in the back seat. So like it's this wild, like a kind of a throwaway-ish scene in the movie is like this whole like just the magic of movie making.
Oh, interesting.
I've actually never watched the newest one.
Oh, dude.
One thing that we've said a lot is that we want a Fast and Furious and Men in Black crossover. So I hope that after you remake Men in Black, that you can sort of have like the third in the trilogy combine the two somehow.
The taxi driver comes back, he joins Race Wars and Space Race Wars.
Oh, we can hook it up. We know.
All right.
We can get the original taxi driver from Men in Black for you.
Dang. That would be an epic cameo. People are like, is that the taxi driver?
Is that actually him? Wow.
I can't believe they got him.
I guess the real investment here is not the $100, but it's your time. Because I was thinking, like, if Joe and I are like, okay, here's $100, remake Tokyo Drift. Like, would you?
Would I personally?
No, not you. You didn't do it. I'm asking
I
them.
was like, I can't do that. These guys are skilled. I'm not.
Are you accepting basically have producers, or could producers come knock at your door and be like, remake this movie for me, please? For here's $100.
Maybe, but you get no say in how it's
Yeah. The fun part is like we have full control.
made. Yeah.
You want full creative control and to do something that's fun. Otherwise, like with $100 isn't worth it.
No, I mean, it was just I wanted to test their morals. I wanted to see if they were in the love of the game, and it feels like they are.
Yeah,
It's also
what
our
are they
own
gonna have
$100.
left over? $9 to make a movie for us?
We're also thinking like, should we keep upping our budget?
I think you should down your budget.
Oh
We
shit.
can probably we can probably trim the budget.
Yeah. It's gonna keep going down because
we are. Yeah,
we continue to invest into the future.
That's true, and we can reuse a lot of things.
The props.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
When we started the podcast, we found a personality quiz, like a BuzzFeed style, J14 style quiz on Zimbio.com that figured out which Fast and Furious character you are, okay?
Oh,
And
okay.
we thought it was okay, but we was like, we could do one better. And so we made our own quiz. So now we have 25 different outcomes. There's 7 questions. There's 25 different characters. I think most of them are probably from the first 5 movies. A lot of them are from the first movie. But are you guys ready to find out which Fast and Furious character you are?
All right.
Yeah. So there's like a personality test, but associated with the
Yes.
Fast and Furious.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the one that you'd read in the back of the magazine and all the answers were upside down. Like that.
Yeah.
The way that I used to do it, I can't do it anymore, so I have to do one of you at a time. So we'll start with Kevin, I guess, first, okay? Kevin, how fast are you? NASCAR, roller coaster, Lamborghini Murcielago, Toyota Prius, Vespa, or Razor scooter?
Roller coaster.
Okay.
Question number 2, you know it's coming. How furious are you? The Hulk, Kylo Ren, Christian Bale on that one movie set that one time, Mel Gibson, Charlie Brown, or Jack McBrayer?
Charlie Brown.
Okay.
Okay.
No, you're not very furious.
Realistically, Charlie Brown.
We're having a barbecue. How are you helping? Are you manning the grill, saying grace, kicking back with a beer, babysitting, being the entertainment, or sneaking a snack?
Kicking back the beer.
Okay.
Yeah. Corona Seltzer.
Corona sauce.
You've got time to kill. What are you doing? Grabbing a bite, working on your car, hanging with friends, drinking a beer, working out, or just doing some stuff on your computer?
All of those, but I'll say hanging with friends.
Describe your wedding. I'm never getting married. It's just me and my partner. It's us and our families. It's a backyard country affair. Everyone I know is there. I don't remember.
I'd like to be. I don't remember.
Perfect. Perfect.
I love it. You just won the lottery. What are you buying? Your own garage, a private plane, I'm gambling it all away, my childhood home, a fleet of cars, or a new life?
Private plane.
Ooh.
Okay. Final question is going to determine it all right here. What is your drink of choice?
Corona.
Sorry that Corona Seltzer is not an option, but there's something close. Belgian ale, Corona, something fruity, water, whatever's cheapest, or just whatever you're having.
Corona.
Who do you think it is?
I was gonna guess Michelle Rodriguez.
You are Letty.
Michelle Rodriguez.
You're Michelle Rodriguez for sure.
Animal anyway. So
Kevin, you exude fierceness and loyalty, and anyone brave enough to challenge you won't be foolish enough to do it twice. You love getting your hands dirty, and you will do whatever it takes to protect the people you love. Others may find it hard to get close to you, but once someone has proven their worth, they become family, and you drive like the wind blows.
whoa,
Wow.
I got chills, man. For real. I got goosebumps.
Does it describe you? Is that good?
That's good. That's
You
me.
are Michelle Rodriguez.
That is me. Yeah. Maybe I should.
But in the thing, Kent, you played Michelle, so like maybe that was bad casting.
That was bad casting. Wow. We should have done this character test before.
All right.
All right, Kent, let's find out who you are. Are you ready?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Kent, how fast are you? NASCAR, roller coaster, Lamborghini Murcielago, Toyota Prius, Vespa, or Razor scooter?
Probably roller coaster also.
I think it'd be very funny if all 7 answers were identical. Just like, also Michelle Rodriguez.
Again, I have a terrible memory, so it possibly might.
How furious are you? The Hulk, Kylo Ren, Christian Bale in that one movie set that one time, Mel Gibson, Charlie Brown, or Jack McBrayer?
I'm gonna say Christian Bale only because like Mel Gibson has that anti-Semitic side, which I'm definitely not.
Fair enough. I do want to say that we, for a while, not, about halfway through the first half, Kevin was lining up to be Jesse, who we've never had, and I was very excited, and then it all went off the rails.
That would be.
I feel like if you had said working on your car, it would have maybe just pushed it towards Jesse, but yeah, I don't know. Okay. Kent, question number 3. We're having a barbecue. How are you helping? Manning the grill, saying grace, kicking back with a beer, babysitting, being the entertainment, or sneaking a snack?
Entertainment or manning the grill, probably. Entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Entertainment? Okay. You've got time to kill. What are you doing? Grabbing a bite, working on your car, hanging with friends, drinking a beer, working out, or just doing stuff on your computer?
I'm working on the car.
Describe your wedding. I'm never getting married. It's just me and my partner. It's us and our families. It's a backyard country affair. Everyone I know is there. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
All right, you just
For
won
sure.
the lottery. What are you buying? My own garage, a private plane, I'm gambling it all away, my childhood home, a fleet of cars, or a new life?
Man,
It's tough.
that's a really tough one.
Yeah.
A garage sounds good because that sounds like a studio or something that you could work in. Like,
Anything
okay.
you want, yeah.
And last question, going to determine it all here. What is your drink of choice? Belgian ale, Corona, something fruity, water, whatever's cheapest, or just whatever you're having.
Corona.
I got to say, you are also
Michelle
Letty.
Rodriguez.
Also
What?
Michelle Rodriguez.
Wow.
Is everyone?
Yeah.
No!
But I want to say
No.
that so each has a different point system. You are even more firmly Michelle Rodriguez. You're more firmly Letty than
Wow.
Kevin was.
So the
Here's
casting
your
was-
characters.
yeah,
You were the most Letty by far, and then second most was Dom, and then Brian.
Oh, interesting.
So I want to find out. So we had Charlie Brown kicking back with a beer, hanging with friends.
It's that I don't remember, bros. That's
Yeah.
what it
Okay.
is.
So here we go.
That I
So,
don't remember. And,
Kevin, you were firmly, you were less so, not a huge lead, but you were Letty, and then Mia and Mr. Nobody. Those are your 2 and 3.
Oh, so you did it was a Mia.
Yeah,
It was
alright, yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez and then
Yeah.
Mia.
Mia with
Rising.
with Michelle.
Mia Rising. I love that.
We actually haven't had a ton of Lettys.
We have not. Which is
Oh,
even
actually,
crazier.
That's
we've had
crazy.
no Lettys.
It seems
There you
like
go.
any option would have been a Michelle Rodriguez. Like,
No,
but
it's
no,
really
that's
not. We'd never get Letty.
Yeah,
What
no,
are
you
you
were
guys?
both Letty, and for the first, I didn't realize that we had I didn't realize it was such a.
What are we? I mean, I've gotten a couple. I mean, we've taken it a bunch of times. And
You're,
like
the one I have down for you is Dom, and I'm Mia.
yeah,
oh wow. Okay.
but we've
Yeah,
gotten
but
like a lot of spread
We've had,
here.
lately we've had Brian, we've had Hobbs, we've had Tej, we've had Mia, we've had Mr. Nobody, we've had a couple Ramses, we've had Han, we've had Suki, we've had Twinkie. Like, there's a bunch of spread, but like, you guys
Wow.
both, Budget Boys together, Letty together, Michelle Rodriguez together. It's
Damn. All right.
very, very cool. Well, I'm glad that you guys could
gonna
join
tell everyone
us for
that.
this because. So I had a friend send me the link, and then somebody put it on our Facebook page, like, "Hey, check this out." I was like, "Guys, already emailed them. Just wait. It's already out there." Like, I'm already way ahead of you, and so I'm just glad that you were able to stop by because we just did an interview with the game director of the new video game of Fast and Furious Crossroads. But I feel like
Oh.
there's 2 big Fast and Furious things this year. There's the new video game, and there's also on a budget. So we might not have had Fast 9, but we've got
We got you guys.
2 substitutions. So
Yeah.
thank you for filling the gap that Corona has left.
Oh, well, I guess you're welcome.
Anything that you guys want to plug, any website or social media or anywhere that people can follow you if people want to know more about you.
Follow our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We're going to keep making stuff. And all of our links are there for our social media. And also, if you know anyone that could get Budget Boys Instagram handle, send them to us.
Oh, because you don't have the Instagram handle. Okay.
Yeah, but that's it.
With the money sign or without the money sign? What are you looking for?
So you can't use special characters, so it has to be without the money sign.
At Budget Boys on Instagram has no posts.
I know! It's dumb.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, guys.
It's
Yeah.
YouTube is probably where we're going to live.
Is the Budget Boys available?
It's not. So Budget Boys 1 is not available. Budget.boys is not available. Budget_boys, they're all not available.
You can lean into the 100 and do Budget Boys 100.
Yeah, 780 some random number afterwards.
Yeah.
What's crazy though is budgetboys.com was available, so that's our website, budgetboys.com.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
but-
pretty
Oh, wait. Was it your website that said don't contact us?
yeah.
perfect.
We're
That's
busy.
what I thought.
Don't
Alright.
contact.
We're making budget films.
Yeah. No, but we appreciate you guys contacting us. This is fun.
I hope you guys make some new content. We're excited for it. I can't wait for Men in Black, and we're big fans. And I just hope you keep cranking stuff out for us because it was really enjoyable. So
Yeah,
thank
we'll make
you.
sure that when you put new stuff out, we will mention it on here and share it on our social and everything like that. So thank you for doing the Lord's work and creating these iconic movies.
I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is so fun. Thank you guys. Now we know where
Thank
Michelle
you.
Rodriguez is.
Yeah.
That's a big. We'll work hard. Yeah, we'll work hard.
Yeah, that wow. those guys are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we got to talk to them.
So we just finished the recording, the interview with them, and I've been texting them. They sent over the MP3 or whatever. They said thanks, had a blast or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I think we have the same kind of like weird passion for the movies. So I'm glad that we got to talk to them. I'm glad that we were able to turn it around so quick, and I'm also glad that we have a couple of Michelle Rodriguez's up in here for the first time.
I'm glad that we got to talk to them. Like you said during the episode, man, like their passion and their reverence for the film shines through here, right? You know, we talk about how, you know, some of these things can get lost and a lot of things could be just making fun of something. But no, they seem like they really like the movies and that they had a good time making it. And it's always good to see friends doing something creative and fun and something that they enjoy. You could see their enjoyment of it, right? And that's great.
Yeah.
Like, I can never be anything but supportive for somebody doing something that they're having fun doing.
Exactly.
So.
And so here's what you need to know about the upcoming schedule. So this was going to be Reef Week. So on Friday, we are going to do Blue Crush. We've already recorded the intro, the outro. Patrons know it, toofast2forever.com. Go check that out. But since the back of that... So basically... So the super weird thing is that at the end of that episode, I'm being like very coy and cagey, and I'm just like, hey, like, we might have a cool thing coming on Friday. We might do Nemo, we might do something else. That was the Budget Boys. So we have that. That's coming out today. That's what you're listening to right now, that you just finished listening to. So now I've got to announce next week, because we haven't done that on the episode. Stay subscribed, hit that bell, whatever. But next week, Joe, back to the Nico and Kevo thing with Fast 5.
The thing? Just the Nico and Kevo thing?
The train, the runaway locomotive.
They're more like a roller coaster car. They have their own track. We're just riding the wave with them. That's it. We're just riding the Blue Crush wave with them.
So on next Tuesday, 1 week from today, we will have Fast 5 with Nico and Kevo. Okay. Then, on next Friday, we are doing Ben's patron pick of Girl Fight, starring Michelle Rodriguez.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either. It came out in 2000, so the year before The Fast and the Furious. The Contenders covered this already. Tobin and Island,
That's
who
a
have been on
good
this
sign,
show,
actually,
did that.
right?
Yes. It's also, the other good sign is that it's directed by Karin Kusama, who is a great film director. She directed, I want to get the full lineup of what she's done. She did a Girl Fight. Then she did a movie called Aeon Flux, which we did over on Charlie's Theron podcast. Then she did Jennifer's Body, which came out and people kind of trashed at the time. And then afterwards, people were like, oh, you know, this movie is great. And I love Jennifer's Body. It's the Megan Fox horror movie that was written by Diablo Cody. Then she did the movie called The Invitation, which is a horror movie, which is great. And then last year, I think, or 2 years ago...
I feel like I saw The Invitation. I feel like I saw that.
It's like a dinner party kind of gone awry.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I think I've seen that. Well, we were on like a bender where we were watching a lot of these. But okay, cool. That sounds familiar.
And then her most recent movie came out a year or two ago with Nicole Kidman called Destroyer, which I have not seen. But Girl Fight and Destroyer, I have not seen her first or her last, but I'm very much looking forward to Girl Fight because I've heard very good things about it. And again, like you said, you know, the Contenders covering it. And
That's
it's also,
what I'm saying.
It's Michelle Rodriguez as a boxer, as a female boxer, which is super, super cool.
Girl Fight as a title kind of threw me for a loop there. I was a little nervous, but yeah, this makes more sense.
I think it's kind of like taking ownership of it, right? Like it's the whole, like what we talked about with Andy Tudor and stuff. There can be fights, like actually fights between women as opposed to just like nails and clawing and cat fight or whatever. This is like actually like, you know, you throw like a girl, like there's the whole like repurposing, like you throw like a girl. It's like, yeah, but like girls can throw, you know what I mean? Like it's the same.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of girls can throw better than that. Pro QB on Friday's episode, Blue Crush. Perfect spiral, right into the fingertips.
I'm not trying to fight any woman that fights in the UFC, that's for sure.
Ronda Rousey, fake Ronda Rousey.
Exactly.
Any of them.
Either of them.
Yep.
Exactly.
On Friday, you'll have Blue Crush. Next week, Fast 5, Girl Fight. Thank you, Ben Milliman, for the patron pick. We'll talk about those next week. It sounds further out to us, but we're gonna, you know, we're recording Fast 5 on Wednesday with Nico and Kevo. Like it's this weird kind of inverse thing, but we're getting there sooner rather than later.
We flipped everything, but I think that the interviews are great, right? Like Andy and the Budget Boys, like they're great guys, and I think that you guys should hear these first, and the movies will be there, right? So
yep, Blue Crush is 18 years old. The Budget Boys thing is like a week old, so we gotta jump on that while we can. So if you have not watched it yet, go check out the Budget Boys. Like we said earlier, go check out the Budget Boys video on YouTube. Email us, family@cageclub.me. But for all things Too Fast, Too Forever, you can go to cageclub.me, facebook.com/TooFast2Forever, or at TooFast2Forever on Twitter and Instagram. Email us, family@cageclub.me. Check out our Patreon page at toofast2forever.com if you're like, ooh, I really need that Blue Crush fix. It's up there.
Yeah.
Go check it out. It's been up there. So come back on Friday for Blue Crush, next week for Fast 5 and Girl Fights. Apologies for the weirdness of the next episode, but We didn't know we're loosey goosey, man. We're just playing by the rules, whatever. We're just doing our own thing.
It's so luxurious here.
Oof. Wait, what's that from?
Cat Williams.
Oh, I was thinking. It reminds me of something else. I don't know.
Also, no, it's also Seinfeld when they have the comfort lanes, which you don't know. But
Nope.
Kramer repaints the lines in the highway to make them wider, and they're driving, and you could swerve back and forth, and Elaine's it's so luxurious.
I think I'm also thinking about how you ended a recent episode with a Step Brothers reference with there's so much room for activities. I think maybe I was thinking that. I think maybe.
True.
But yeah, lots of rooms for activities. It's very luxurious here at Too Fast, Too Forever. Come join the fun at toofast2forever.com. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe too,
And we'll tell you all about it
when we see you